Feeling very great to have you join us right here on the Sports Republic Show. Welcome again. It's a very different day, and we keep moving. Let's talk about sports update. Quickly, you're watching Voice of the People TV, and you already know this is the Sports Republic Show that comes your way every weekdays, Monday to Fridays, and we are here to dissect on the show about the big talk. We'll give you analysis for the second half of the show, and then the first half, we'll talk about the Nigerian Football Federation. That is a very big one that is out there that you just might want to hear. Can I tell you this one? It's a big talk right now that the Swedish people, like the Sweden people, are making mockery of Nigeria. They're laughing at us, saying, yes, RIP Nigeria. They're saying we've gotten the wrong man for the job, and that's about Andersson. But anyways, welcome. Yes, you already know, my name is Kizike. I have with me Adeni Joe, who has been here before. He's made his debut before, and is here to talk about this with me, because sometimes when you get such talks, you don't want to talk about it alone. Adeni Joe with me. Good morning. Great to have you join me.
Yeah, good morning. Nice. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, we have news about the Super Eagles. Are you ready?
Yeah, sure, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's quickly let you know the first one here. We have former Sweden manager linked to Super Eagles job. Talk about Haaland Andersson is reportedly the leading candidate for the vacancy role of the Super Eagles, although the Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has not yet made an announcement officially about that man, suggesting that the 61-year-old is poised to take over the reins of Nigerian national team. Andersson, you need to know, concluded the staying out with the Sweden side in November 2023 after 7-year stint, previously turned down. An offer also was given to him from Latvia, a country, and he said no. Second Swedish coach to manage the Super Eagles, following the footsteps of Lars Lagerberg, who guided Nigeria during the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa. Andersson managerial credentials are solid, just maybe. Haven't led IFK Nokoping to their first Allsvenskan title back in 2016, which subsequently earned him the Swedish national team card. Now, no moving so much about this man. Adeni Ojo, you need to know, despite Sweden's recent struggles, including missing out on the 22 World Cup and failing to qualify for the Euros 2024, Andersson pedigree and experience makes him a strong contender to lead the Super Eagles. Talk about the national team, and we are yet to play against Benin Republic and Rwanda. Let me ask you, let me start by saying, are you a fan of the man, Haaland Andersson?
Well, I'm not really a fan of him, given his history, defensive style of play and all of that. So I'm not really... We fired, what's his name? Pesero, over this defensive style of football.
Yeah.
And we are hiring the same guy again. So I don't really understand why we are hiring another defensive manager.
Right.
For this same role.
Okay, let me ask you, is he the right man for the job?
I don't think so. We have wealth of attacking talents. Why do we need someone that will be playing defensive football, that will be playing 5-4-1 or 3-5-2? We don't need that.
You don't like the man?
I don't like the style of play.
Okay, his style of play is a problem now. Okay, yeah. So let me ask you now, what should be his first task if he eventually gets on the job?
Get us to the World Cup in 2026. That's the most important thing.
How possible would that be?
Well, he knows what's at stake. I don't think the teams want to play. The countries we are playing, we have the 2 games left.
They'll have Rwanda and Benin Republic for the Morocco AFCON.
Then for the World Cup, those are walkaway teams. I'm not sure they should give Nigeria.
You call them walkaway. Benin Republic won Nigeria for the World Cup qualifiers.
Well, it's football. But now that the stakes are very high, him coming into the team, that's if he's hired
to get on the job. Okay, so let me ask you now, criteria for player selection, what could it be? Because we learned, as at yesterday, Haaland Andersson, we learned that the NFF will have to give him a 35-man list of players. You need to know players, 35-man list, and he will want to shorten the list. He have to edit it and possibly get 25-man squad in that team. And the question out there now is, what are the criteria for the player selection? Because we learned that the NFF as well, we learned that they personally have this list for themselves. And some of the players in the mix are some NFF players. There's a word like that. There's a word like that. But let me ask you, aside them giving him the list, it means, I feel like he should have done his primary assignment, though, watch Nigeria if you know you want to come into the team. But aside that, what should be the criteria for player selection in Nigerian football?
For me, I believe you have the right support. That's the technical support in selecting players for qualifiers, and if it's to continue the job going to the World Cup. But for now, the most important thing is the qualifiers. So the criteria for selection is team club performances, the dedication, you know, fitness too is important too. So I believe the Nigerian technical team that will support him should know, okay, this should give him the best advice on how to select players for a better result.
So what about this part where they say some NFF members have their own player? How does it work?
No, him coming into the...
He has to change.
He has to change that mindset.
But you have to work with the list given to him first.
Yeah. Before you now like, okay, CV it, okay, these are the players I want to work with, these are the players I don't want to work with. And one thing I like about him too, let me just give him that credit, he's a disciplinarian.
Yeah, he takes no nonsense.
He takes no nonsense. Yeah, so him coming into the job issue, I'm sure they've given him a history of Nigerian politics when it comes to team selection.
So we really have politics?
Of course, yes, from day one. So obviously he knows what he's coming into. So like, these are the players I want to work with, these are the players I don't want to work with. So he's in the best position to know what is good for him.
Okay, so let's talk about coach search. Now, quickly, Super Eagles' new manager and style of play. You might not be a fan of this man, but let me tell you that, again, against most expectations, the Super Eagles went all the way to the final of the AFCON in February. The whole country celebrated the achievement of Nigeria, but still, there were some who were not impressed with the football and Super Eagles, the way we played in the tournament. Now, it was a dull defensive game which relied on counterattacks, even though our coach, my friend, Jose Pesaro, had a good number of strikers to choose from in that Ivory Coast tournament, but then he decided to go with a defensive method. Therefore, there were many fans who were happy to finally see that he left the job in March. They have demanded for expansive and play good football. But there's something about Andersson, let me tell you. The big question now is Andersson suitable for the job for the Super Eagles? Because we learned his promoter said that he has played a defensive game for the 7-year spells with the Sweden side. He played a very defensive game. He did not enjoy attacking. He likes to play defensive way. But someone might be asking questions saying, is it that the Swedish never had attacking players in the team at that point? But that, of course, no. So that argument doesn't hold any water because Zlatan Ibrahimovic was in the team. Victor Gyökeres of Sporting Lisbon also in that team. Jesper Karlstein of Bologna is in that team. So you cannot say he doesn't want it. So, but I would love we get that comment on the screen from the social media comment. We could see that Adeneye, it's scary that we have the Swedish people making mockery of Nigeria for signing in that man. They said we're going to regret it. Rest in peace, Nigeria. Our condolences. What message does this portray?
I think the reason why they fired him was because of his defensive style of play. If you watch,
yeah, been doing it for 7 years.
Yeah, if you watch the Swedish league, it's a league that's known for banging goals.
Right.
They score goals. Even the Swedish national team said they score goals very well. So when they hired, what's his name, Janssen, it was more of like the defensive manager. He's kind of risk averse when it comes to going forward, and I don't know why. For me, personally. He has a lot of talent when it comes to these Super Eagles. You have Victor Osimhen, you have Lukman, you have Boniface, you have Iwobi. So I believe he should get the best out of these players for maximum result and to make Nigerians happy because we need to qualify. Okay,
so quickly, let's tell you some of the comments that we have, that was laid out there. I don't want to call the names, but one says, our condolences, Nigeria. One says, RIP, Nigeria. One says, you're going to hate him. That was the wrong one. I'm sorry I say that. One also went as far as saying, this was from BK Haken of Sweden, a fan, said, I'm sorry for you, Nigeria. And while another one, Sweet Start, said, he fell off a lot before he left our national team. He just didn't feed the players we have, and I don't know how much about the players in Nigeria. Is this a big warning to Nigerian football?
It's a sign. If the Swedes are really not a fan of him and they are saying something like they are spewing out words like this out of their mouth, so I think it's a wake-up call to the people that are trying to hire this guy.
Let me even ask you this question. On the part where they say you don't know, that's the comment on the screen. On the part where they say you don't know, like they say you don't know the African football because he doesn't have a pedigree of African football. He literally knows nothing about African football. That's on him. But is that to say that a man from the European scene would not do well? Because we've seen the Moroccan side, African football mostly like to be physical, physicality and the rest of that. But the Moroccan style play like the Europeans. A lot of players, they have Walid Regragui, he's the man, but his style of play, because we had a long stint with the Spanish stay. Now, his style of play is quite different from every other manager. Is this to say that if we have a foreign coach, he must know the roots of African football? Because I know we wanted to have a Reynard. He's an A-class coach for African soil, but winning Nations Cup with Zambia and Ivory Coast is okay. McLaren does not know the job here. I'm just saying. He's a good coach, but he has never managed any African team. He went for Jamaica. Tom Saintfiet wants this job. Sekou Shao also did with the Mali side. But is this to say that because the man you have on the screen does not or has not managed an African side, is this to say he won't do well with the team?
You made mention of the Moroccan national team. If you look at the North Africans, they are close to Europe, and they play more of European style of football. So you cannot compare sub-Saharan African football to the North Africans, Egypt, Tunisia, and the rest of them.
Right.
So I don't believe a manager he needs prior knowledge of African style of football for him to give better results or for him to perform. So I believe they know how to come about these things because they are professionals. Right. And he's a very good manager. He has been on the international stage and he has really, really performed. So I don't think he needs any experience on African football like the Averinas and the rest of them for him to deliver. No, but my own concern is the defensive style of play. We cannot afford that. I can't afford watching Super Eagles game and I'll see 5 defenders at the back, 4 in front of them, and only 1 striker. With the wealth of talent we have on the bench in that team, I will not be playing defensive game in 2024. Right. We don't need that.
Okay, let's talk about the NFF appointing local coach for interim basis on that. Should we expect an interim man to manage for these 2 games in September here?
Yeah, there's this, no, you can't do it too. No, don't give a Nigerian. We need an expert. We need a foreign...
Don't we have experts in Nigeria?
Nigerians don't believe in their own homegrown experts. They believe, no, get a foreign manager, they can deliver within a short space of time. No. This is what we want. Mister, this is it. This is what is in front of you.
Who should be giving that interim job?
Interim job for now will really solve the problem. If there is, I would support Eguavon. Okay. I would support
Eguavon. Okay, so we have to go on a break. When we return, the show continues. And I'll tell you, we start with the analysis and it will be very much interesting. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as it is hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before.
Welcome again. You're still watching Sports Republic Show. Let's delve into this one again, talk about European scene. But I'd like to ask my man here this question again. I love to get some of the pics here, some of the clips on the wall so we can have some things, some of those big players. But let me ask you this question again. I'm asking you. The Swedish people are mocking Nigeria. They are mocking us very well. They are laughing at us. In fact, on social media, it's trending. The social media in the Swedish side is out there, a lot of trends saying Nigeria will regret this man. Saying, rest in peace, Nigeria. One says, our condolences, Nigeria. I'm asking you, don't you think this is a big warning ahead of time to the Nigerian Football Federation? I'm just saying, it's not me to say if Yanni Andersson is okay or not. It's not me. You know, we just talk about this because we are analysts. But let's be realistic. If a warning are an envious talk, or is it a reality? Is it a true talk that we should be very wary, we should be very concerned about the man we are bringing in? Because the reason we let Pesaro leave was one that he never had the flair. You know, Pesaro was not dominating, was getting the result. And I know one part of football, that's the style. People don't tend to know, people don't believe that defensive is an approach of the game. It's a style. Mourinho did it a lot, but I feel like the problem with Mourinho that he failed to, he failed to recuperate himself again with the invention of the game. But aside that, if Janne Andersson, like they said, the Swedish are saying, for the past 7 years he was defensive. He had Zlatan Ibrahimovic, he had, what's his name, Isaac, he had Victor Gyökeres of Sporting Lisbon, and he was defensive. Is this a wonder? Because Nigeria will be go, Osimhen, Victor Boniface, Cyril Dezas, Paulo Nacho, Terry Murphy, Ademola Lookman, there are so, Samuel Chukwueze, Ihan Nacho, there are many. If you come and play defensive style, you're not going to work. We are not going to dominate. People will come and ride us. The defensive style is so dangerous because people will keep pressing you and you cannot contain games.
At all.
So is this a warning to Nigeria generally? Because if they can be more, see, they laugh us. So tell me how deep this one is for the NFF.
Normally in football, they are pessimists. That they always see the worst out of things. They never see the best out of things. So if the Swedes are a little bit pessimistic on NFF hiring this guy for the job, it's concerning for me. But nonetheless, we still have to support him. He knows what is coming to meet. I'm very, very sure. He knows what is coming to meet. And he knows what's at stake. I'm still using that word. He knows what is at stake. So we can... Me, myself, I don't like defensive football. I was disappointed in Nigeria's performance at the AFCON.
But the results are coming.
The results are coming because yes, it's a tournament. You just want to just get the result, defend, or score a goal, defend, take 90 minutes, advance to the next stage. This kind of system, you can't play it for 12 games, 13 games. If it's like maybe 8-game tournament or maybe 7-game tournament, yes, just okay, we'll just score one goal, advance to the next stage. But for me, Janssen,
it's no more. Okay, quickly, let's go away from that. Talk about European scene. Get it back. Let's get off Janne Andersson. People say he's not a good coach. Some people say he's a fan. He's a good coach. But I don't know what you make about the man you just saw on your screen some minutes ago. I don't know. Are you a fan of Janne Andersson? Do you want him to be the Nigerian Super Eagles coach? Is he the right man for the job? How good is this man? But let's talk about European scene now. Is Haaland. Let's talk about Haaland a bit. We know there's a good news for Chelsea. João Felix, the move is good for Chelsea. But let's talk about Haaland first of all. Let me ask you, a lot of people are saying Haaland is not a world striker. He's not a world-class striker. But for me, Haaland is just amazing. He's a player on the other scene. Now, why I'm talking about Haaland is the fact that in some games last season, we saw Haaland touching the ball like 4 times in the game, like a full first half. Haaland to score goals is amazing. He gets to score goals. Chelsea lost to City during the weekend on Sunday. But he had less touch in the first half, but he scored a goal. But I'm asking this question. European scene has changed. Football has taken over. Is Haaland a world-class player for you? Yeah,
Haaland is a world-class player because you cannot say because a player has few touches in a game doesn't mean he's not really relevant or you're not seeing his impact that's on the game or on the team. So for me, he has delivered. Yeah, some games he didn't really show up on some big games. But you cannot negate the fact that Haaland is a fantastic striker. He has delivered on multiple stages. He has, he gave City the title. You understand? And they signed him because of they needed the top 9. So you can see it's affecting us now too. You need a prolific 9, a prolific striker that can deliver, that can cause problems. Yes, 9s can be isolated sometimes because when you cut the supply line, you can actually just isolate them in the 18-yard box. They have to come back and play. And you can see Harry Kane, most of the time, he does it. So I believe you cannot come and say Harry Kane is not important. He's a fantastic striker.
So let's talk about, you say if Haaland's a good striker, I'm not sure. Like I said, I don't think Haaland can play 65 to 66 games in all competition. Don't you think Chelsea, don't you think Man City for letting Julian Alvarez leave, don't you think Man City should get just another player, just to subordinate Haaland when he's not around?
But I believe their reason for letting Alvarez go, maybe they believe it's surplus requirements.
But they made a lot of money.
They made a lot of money because for me, Alvarez, he made the right decision leaving. He won the title, he won the Champions League. So what's there to me sitting on the bench and allow Haaland to take all the so they have other players from the academy and Pep, he knows how to get the the best out of players. And with his first 9 style of system, it shouldn't be a problem for City because mostly he plays on the wings.
So can City continue the season without it? I mean,
Why
with
not?
just Haaland, with Haaland. Are they good to go without another player?
If you look at the goals they scored last season, Doku had some shares,
Right.
Foden had some shares.
And now they have Savi as well.
So you can see, so it's not going to be just the 9 alone.
Okay, let's talk about the man with the solo goal, Maresca Kovacic, the Croatian international. Kovacic scored a solo goal. He got off Caicedo and Enzo. I felt like Enzo should have gotten him down. I wish we could get that one. Could have gotten him down so he don't strike that way. And he went on and he hit the ball. His performance was good. But let's say this, I love to say, if you want to sign in players to your team, it means your signings should be better than the ones you have. Now look at the quality Chelsea have, the Enzo, the Gallagher, who we know his story to Atletico, and then, Moise Caicedo. Kovacic left and went to a better side. I could call it a greener pasture. But tell me about his performance so far with City. How would you rate him? I feel like he's underrated.
Yeah, he's underrated, but he has always stepped up when called upon. From his days at Inter, even when he was at Madrid, it was always more like a second fiddle or third. We were like, let's just use Kovacic, but you can see as with time, his game progressed and it's getting better and better and better, and Pep is getting the best out of him. Okay,
so tell me about Rodri. There's a talk about Rodri saying Rodri will be he'll be getting up to £375,000 every week. They want to trigger his wages. Is it good? He's 28.
Yeah, he's the best too because he's the engine of Man City. He's the engine room. Look at Spain too. When they took him off, we were all scared.
Yeah, we did say that.
He's the one dictating play. He's the one balancing the team. He's the one balancing play. He's the one reducing the pressure. He's the one soaking the pressure. He's the one doing the dirty job. So and with the likes of Gundogan possibly coming back,
right,
it will relieve Rodri of some responsibilities.
Would you want to see Gundogan back?
Yes, I want him back. Barcelona did not really they didn't really value him because Barca no, if you're not suitable for our system, no, you can't play. No matter how technical you are, if you are not suitable for that Barca system, no, you can't. So I think coming back to City, it's a big boost.
Okay, so let's go to Chelsea quickly because Chelsea talk is always very long. Chelsea squad numbers. The question out there is, the team have to restructure over 42 players in the team. I don't know how they want to do it, and they're still getting more players. We heard about Federico Chiesa from Juve, might be joining them as well. Chelsea want to get everybody. How will Enzo Maresca go about these players? He said, I want to make the team to be 25 or thereabout. How does he go to reduce the deficit? I mean, the numbers of the players, the squad. And do you know the problem about this? If a Chelsea side is playing against, like in a training session, like 11 against 11. If you're not in the 11 against 11, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So how does it go for Enzo Maresca to restructure the Chelsea team and get a perfect, possibly 25 or 2018 players?
I believe he needs a very, very, very strong, technically and tactically gifted team. That's players that have individual abilities that are very creative. So,
right.
And they have your Felix, if Chiesa joins the team, if Osimhen joins the team, so he has players that are surplus requirements that maybe they can be in the reserves or maybe they can be loaned off and check their performances after 6 months and maybe recall them if they have any issue in any area of the team as the season progresses. So I believe he knows the areas that needs reinforcement. He knows the areas that, okay, we are actually good here, maybe on the wings.
So are you saying some players are not also already cool for Maresca?
Yeah, of course.
So, and he knows them?
He knows them.
So Chelsea will have to sell?
You have to sell, they have to loan some off to balance the squad because I don't see him working with 45 players.
No, that's not
He doesn't
possible.
need that. 25 is okay or 23 is okay.
Okay, so let's talk about Chelsea captaincy band, the captaincy, the band for the captain for Chelsea. Rhys James is the skipper of the side. Ben Chilwell is the vice captain, you could call him. But these guys are off for now, and Enzo happened to wear that armband. We know the story about Enzo and Wesley Fofana, the racial talk, but I don't know. That captain band for Enzo, and I'm talking about Enzo entirely, generally. I'm a fan of Enzo, but I don't think I like the role that he played against City, and I don't know if Maresca will want to continue playing in that role. He played as a number 10, and then he was like I said, he was looking frustrated on the game. It wasn't on his A game. So we know him as a center or central midfielder. He can play that box-to-box role very well. But with Chelsea, would it be right to see him continue as that number 10? Because he does not have the flair. those passes will not be coming. Jackson has his own flaws. But talking about Enzo Fernandez, good player, World Cup winner. We know his story from Benfica and the rest of that. But let's talk about his implementation in Chelsea. He's poor. He was poor on that very game. Would you love to see him play that role more?
The thing is about some players is when you play some kind of teams like City and the rest of them, you could see, I'm sorry to say, you could see Mbappe against Maresca.
Yeah.
You could see that as good as he was, you didn't really see.
You can't compare Maresca with City now.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, now Enzo playing against Man City, it's going to be very difficult for you to play in number 10. With the way City, their cluster marking style.
Dominating.
You get. So I believe Maresca knows the reason why he's trying to play Enzo as a 10. Maybe the next game will be better. Maybe 3, 4, 5 games.
So you advise us to keep playing him as a number 10?
Why not? If the manager has his reasons for, maybe he has seen some technical abilities technical abilities of the player. So I believe we should know. Okay, you'll be very good there. I play football too sometimes. My manager can say, you're very good. You're skillful. Okay, let's try you here.
But is that captain ban? Do you think that captain ban is just to get him off that racial talk?
Something like that too. Maybe to unite
right?
the team too, and maybe make him more responsible. Now he talks, how he,
Yeah. Because he has this attitude, gesture problem during games. He's always acting like I'm frustrated and, waving hands and the rest of that. But let's leave Enzo aside. You said you want to see him play more as a number 10.
Yeah.
Okay. Still on the Chelsea talk, Chelsea attack. And let me ask you, while I asked you a question about Haaland, you said Haaland is a world class.
Yeah.
So is a Nicholas Jackson a proper forward?
For me, he's not a proper forward. He has the strength, he has the agility, he has the speed, but he doesn't have the technicalities of a striker in the modern game. The Jackson of today, maybe 10, 15 years, he will be able to run the width of the game of the field rather. But in 2024, I don't see Jackson as a prolific 9 for Chelsea. If they are going to finish, because I'm tipping them for a top 5 finish.
Okay.
So if they're going to finish top 5, I don't see Jackson as... If this guy can score 10, 15 goals a season. I'm not saying him... He just has the strength, maybe because he's still young. But in front of goal, he's not calm, he's not poised.
Right.
You understand? He's not really technical.
Yeah.
You understand how strikers of the modern game...
So is there a message for Chelsea? You don't think they can go on with us?
No. They need to get Osimhen.
Why not say they need to get a forward? Why is it Osimhen?
They need to get... Osimhen is more technical and he's more calm and he's more poised.
Do you think Osimhen will just come into that team and boom, just pick up?
With the support he has, the likes of Enzo, Caicedo and the rest of them, Palmer, and maybe Chiesa if he joins.
Right.
So they have a very fantastic team. And Osimhen will have the best support.
Oh, okay.
Like he's got at
so
Napoli. One
thing about Chelsea, I must say on the show, so you know, is that Chelsea is a team that they are trying to restructure themselves. The coach needs time, and I'll bring that to you. Pep Guardiola has said a word about him. But let me tell you that Chelsea have just 3 players who are earning over £200,000. Lukaku number 1, Reece James number 2, Raheem Sterling number 3, and then Cole Palmer just started earning 120. He was earning £80,000 every week, but now with his contract that ends for 2033, it means he'll be earning 120. So he's still not up to that 200. Let's talk about Raheem Sterling now. Raheem Sterling camp, his representative are not happy with Chelsea, and like I said, I would want Chelsea to have a talk with the camp of Raheem Sterling. Now, this man I'm talking about knows he wants to be at the World Cup for 2026. Raheem Sterling had a decent preseason. You need to watch him. He played so well. But how annoying that he was not involved in the team. See, everybody, you like to play against your former team. Sure. I was watching Atletico Madrid play yesterday against Villarreal, and Solot, that man, scored a goal, and it was nice to see. But the ovation was great. Now, Raheem Sterling is one of the leaders. We are saying Chelsea have a lot of players, but they need a leader. Chelsea lacks that leadership quality. Yeah. And Thiago has left. Now, all of these players are still very young. Now, Raheem Sterling is well experienced, and I think he should be in that. For me, he should be in the Chelsea team. But Raheem Sterling is earning over £250,000 every week. That's what he goes on. Every week he earns $250, and they should have a talk with him and say, Sterling, if you want to go, what club would you like to go? Because if Chelsea decide to continue this way, they are trying to force out some academy players. They are trying to let Chaloba. See, Chelsea talk is big because I say it. If you want to sign in, you want to bring in players, make sure the players you're bringing in is better than the ones you have. Can I tell you, by their share, Disasi, these guys have not been close to Trevor Chalobah's performance. Do you understand? But Chalobah is off the team. Conor Gallagher is a Chelsea homegrown boy. He's off the team. Mason Mount have left the team. So all of these Chelsea Academy boys, they're training them up. We know the PSL rule. We know all of these things. But tell me about Raheem Sterling. How do they go on resolving this issue? Should they keep him and keep paying him, or let him go and maybe take a pay cut? I don't know.
If the manager and the board see Sterling as surplus to requirement,
Yeah.
they can as well let him go. With the
But
wage,
I think they need him.
I think with the wage issue, is he really needed?
I think they need him.
Is he really needed? Maybe, Joao Felix has changed the
Oh,
game.
Joao Felix is coming actually. He's already
So
here.
now they will see him as surplus to requirement.
Right.
The wage again. So like 200,000. We need to let this guy off our wage, our checkbooks. No. This guy has to go because he's even delivering. Yes, he's a senior man in the team, but we have Joao Felix, and maybe Maresca might prefer Felix on the wings to Sterling. So I believe if he wants to go, it will take a significant pay cut for any other team to actually sign him. And if he wants to remain in Chelsea, it's affecting his chance of his performances, or maybe his valuation too, I should say. Because the less game you play, the more your game drops.
So you're thinking Chelsea should keep him, to let him go, sorry.
They should let him go.
Because Joao Felix is coming out. But the money is the problem. They have to find a way around it without money. But quickly, let's leave Sterling talk and give you more updates. Possibly it might sound like it's a Chelsea show, but not. Mikel Obi has come to say that Chelsea Football Club would never go beyond 7. I love we get the Mikel statement possibly on the screen. Chelsea, with all of the players they have, potential team. Signings are great. But Mikel has come to say, that's it on the screen, he said, Chelsea, I see them. He said they cannot finish more than number 7. Is it true? Do you believe Mikel?
I told you I'm predicting a top 5 finish. I'm not
Top 5.
I'm not downplaying, and I'm not going to look down on this manager. He has his own. He has a plan. And to be sincere with you, he has a plan. And yes, everybody can say what they want to say, but I believe in this Maresca. I saw what he did at Leicester.
Yeah. And I'm funny how you're not a Chelsea fan, but you so much believe in Maresca. How come?
He's a very good manager. He has a style of play. I love managers that, okay, this is my style of play. Okay, what kind of players will fit into this system? So Maresca is that kind of manager. Pochettino was doing a lot of trial by error last season.
Yeah.
And that's why they ended up.
Well, you say Pochettino. Let me go hold you on that. If you say Pochettino was doing the trial by error, I don't know what you mean by that, because we expected, let me say it right. Pep Guardiola played that game against Chelsea he didn't really put up every player out there. You saw what he did. He gave some player. That's like evaluating your team. But Maresca, I think, did something that was strategic. He tried to play in the boys that know themselves against Pep. But there's still something missing, Teams need to still find out reading. That's what Arsenal is lacking. There's still something about a City that Arsenal need to go past. And when they go past that, the results will keep coming. Yeah. But let's talk about, since you talk about the style of play with Maresca. You believe Maresca?
Yeah, absolutely.
You like Maresca?
Yeah.
He's a good coach, no doubt.
Very, very
but with this set of players, it takes a good manager to manage these young boys. I tell you one thing is missing. Chelsea lack leaders. They don't have leaders.
What did he do at Leicester City that he can't do with Chelsea?
Chelsea is quite different to Leicester. Chelsea is a bigger side than Leicester. Chelsea, the quality of the players in Chelsea, you can't compare that with the Leicester boys now, of course. So he has a lot of job to do.
Yes, he has a lot of job to do, but I'm tipping him for a top 5 finish.
So Chelsea top 5 for you?
Top 5.
You don't see Chelsea. So Mikel is not saying it right.
They will surprise a lot of teams this season. A lot of teams. I see them even creating a lot of, they're going to crash a lot of parties.
The one thing I know, they will dominate. They will play.
They will play football.
Enzo Maresca likes to play from behind.
Yeah. He's a Pep protege, so you should expect that, of course, he will bring in that Pep style of play to Chelsea. And now, that's why I said, Pochettino was doing a lot. Chelsea fans they can attest to what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Pochettino was doing a lot of try by error. Today this formation, tomorrow another formation, today this couple of players, tomorrow. So it was more of confused.
Was Chelsea right to have let a Pochettino go? A man that just came in the first season and is trying to process the team. See, okay, this one takes me to the next one. Let's talk about time is key. Pep Guardiola's advice to Chelsea and on Maresca. I love we get that. They look alike a lot. They look alike. Yeah. Now, Pep Guardiola has come to say that he's a good manager. We need to give him, Chelsea needs to give him time. Hold on. But some people are saying that's a mind game. Look how they look like on the screen. Look like the twin. They look very alike. Right. But someone is saying something about them. They said Pep is playing a mind game. Pep Guardiola won Arsenal last 2 seasons and came out to say, I played against a good team and, like some kind of mind games. But Chelsea, you and I know the philosophy of Chelsea. It's not about Abramovich. We've seen managers leave, Graham Potter, Lampard, all of these managers coming and going within a short time. Bruno Salto. Let me ask you this question. Do you see the board of Chelsea, Todd Boehly, giving Maresca the time? Because time is value. Time is key. Nigerian football now, why am I always talking about NFF all the time? Because if you don't get in the manager at the right time, it will be hard. The national team is very hard than the club side,
Yeah.
Because the club side, week in, week out, they play, we see themselves and they try to gel. But the national team is once at intervals, and a manager is coming with a short period of time and you want him to perform magic. What is the magic? What magic would Chelsea be wanting from Enzo Maresca within a short time? We didn't have all the time in it.
The board will do themselves a great disservice if they should fire him early on in the season, maybe due to poor performances or results. But for me, like Pep rightly said, it needs time. You should stick to Maresca, because if he doesn't deliver this season, next season, the kind of patience might add with Ten Hag, I believe they should give Maresca that kind of patience and support, because at least he has a pattern.
Yeah.
Poch had no pattern. He has a pattern, and you can see that was why Bayern hired company.
Yeah, Mr. Company, there's a style of
Because
play.
see, he got Burnley back to the Premier League.
Right.
They got relegated. He got the Bayern job.
Yeah.
But you could see that the style of play, the discipline, and how he makes the team very, very cohesive and compact.
Right.
Those are the things that the billionaires want to see.
So invest your money in the right thing.
You get-
Okay, you think Chelsea did right by letting Poche leave?
Absolutely. I would do the same thing if I was the owner of Chelsea. I'll fire him.
Okay. Lastly, let's get that one. Let's talk about this while we wrap up the show. Jamie Redknapp, statement to Chelsea. I don't know if Jamie Redknapp have said a word to Chelsea, and then there's a big warning to Chelsea. I'll love to get that on the screen because people don't believe in Chelsea's project. Do you believe in the project? Yes.
Yeah, I do. I've said that like not once, not twice on the show this morning. So I believe in the project. Yeah, the owner, the billionaire, the American guy, he made some mistakes, no doubt. But I believe you can see with the signings, the change of manager, and the rest of it, Chelsea will get back to their glory days.
Okay, so Jamie Redknapp message says, he said they've spent 1.2 billion pounds and they still haven't got a top striker. And I'm not even sure they've got a good goalkeeper. Is this a diss entirely? Would you say it's a diss to the club for Jamie Redknapp to say, and look at the screen, there's a Jackson and there's a Robert Sanchez, there's have Jorgensen as well.
I told you that Jackson is not for me, he's not a striker.
What do you mean?
That guy should be playing like maybe 4 because of his energy. He should just be running around the field and be sliding, making tackles, kicking the ball, breaking legs and all of that. Sorry to say, but
okay. We need to actually go. Before we go, we'd love to get our comments. If we have some comments, we could bring that comment out so we could get to read it. But you said Jackson is a no-go area.
Chelsea are going to finish top 5 this season. I don't say Jackson. They need to get Osimhen.
So Osimhen is the solution to Chelsea football?
Yeah, to their 9 issues.
Number 9. Okay. Is it okay? What is the basic problem for Chelsea now?
They need to score goals.
They need to score goals.
They need to score goals. They need like a danger man up front.
Up front.
Yeah. They need someone that is very, very prolific, someone that is very stubborn, someone that has that poise.
So Chelsea, you mean Chelsea is complete now? Now that goal scorer line remain.
They need a goal scorer. They have Palmer on the wings. They have Felix. They need Osimhen. Someone that at least with this 3 by maybe.
I love it when you say Osimhen. You're not saying Osimhen because you're Nigerian, right?
No.
You're saying Osimhen because Osimhen is the poacher.
Yeah.
Osimhen is technical, gifted, right?
He takes the game to the defenders. I am here.
Yeah.
You understand? He makes his
gets the
presence known.
Yeah.
You get so that's the kind of striker Chelsea needs this season.
Okay, so let's really get on the comments we have here. Peter Akerodulu says, why do we keep deceiving ourselves? Let's forget about World Cup qualification and give Samson Siasia a long-term coaching role. This coach Andersson is a complete failure. Goodness me. He went as far as saying, just look at his track record. We don't need a foreign coach. What we need is a homegrown coach who understands our team. And that, if you talk about what Peter has come to say now, it's a lot of talk. Let's wrap up with this quickly. We have to go, but tell me just a word about this. We need to go. Tell me about what the message we just had on the screen from Peter. Samson Siasia, ban just lifted.
Nah, we don't need Siasia. If we are going to even hire any homegrown manager, it should be a Guavo.
Should be a Guavo.
For me, I don't see it. I don't. Nah.
Okay, we need to go. Our time is up. Thank you so much, Adeni or Joe, for coming on the show. Did you have fun?
Yeah, lots of fun.
You can come again so we can do more.
Anytime.
We need to talk about this NFF team. This NFF. See, you're not a fan of the coach.
I'm not a fan of the Swiss coach, but he has my support, but I'm not just a fan.
You can tell us more tomorrow when we have you on the show. Thank you so much, Adeni. Well, you're still watching Sports Republic Show. It's on me to go now. You are just in the best place. We have the midday news coming up next, and the time would be just for 12 Nigerian time. Please don't go anywhere. I'll be back on your TV screen tomorrow, 11 a.m. Please keep a date with us. We'll give you updates about all the transfer news and everything that's transpired in the world of sports. And then the team will be here again to give you just the way it needs to go. The Locker Room Show still coming up. But up until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, I remain Kizike. That's my name. I am the only football player without a jersey. Tomorrow, I'll see you.